The Atlanta Falcons have fired their head coach, Dan Quinn. They also fired their general manager, Thomas Dimitroff. And that's all that after a 0-5 start to their season. And unfortunately, they had to go, especially Dan Quinn, the head coach. Defense is his specialty, and you would literally never know that watching the Atlanta Falcons play football. I mean, horrible coverage, missed assignments, bad tackling, lack of attention to detail. Horrible, horrible, horrible defense has been played by the Atlanta Falcons recently, and it's been awful. And then you consider the culture that's been festering in Atlanta. You know, considering the fact that really the reality is that Dan Quinn's tenure as a head coach in the NFL was marked the minute he lost in the Super Bowl to the New England Patriots after having a 28-3 lead in that game. Ever since then, there's been not only a culture of blowing leads, but it's literally in their heads. It's also always brought up. Anytime you watch the Falcons play football, the broadcasters always, every single time, mention that loss, the 28-3. It's literally like the go-to thing at the beginning of any introductory like kind of interview or anything really. If you ever watch a Falcons game, it's kind of crazy how often that game is mentioned. So it's not just in the broadcasters' heads or in the players' heads or in the coaches' heads. It's in everybody's heads, and it's the culture around the Atlanta Falcons at this point. And then you look at, okay, they lost to the Cowboys this year after being up 29-10. Or the Bears game where the Falcons were up 26-10, and halfway through the fourth quarter, they had a 16-point lead and lost the game. That's terrible. And I said it before, blowing the lead is in their head where it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. In their heads, they're like, oh, we can't blow this lead. We can't, we're ahead now in this game. We can't screw up. We can't screw it up. We can't have anything go bad. And the losing culture paired with losing football is why Dan Quinn has been fired. Now, Thomas Dimitroff, I don't think is a terrible general manager. You can debate that if you want. He did draft some good players. But the Falcons wanted a total, complete reset. I respect that. Fair enough. Now, the Falcons are left with a 38-year-old quarterback. 38? 35. 38. Where'd I get 38? Falcons are left with a 35-year-old quarterback, Matt Ryan, and an aging receiver, Julio Jones, who's been a star in the NFL, but now he's oft injured, and things are not great for Julio Jones. And so I have no idea how attractive this job is, because I don't know that they're going to keep Matt Ryan. I don't know if everything's up in the air right now for the Falcons. It's very interesting also. The Falcons owner came out and said that he's going to have to see about Matt Ryan's future with the Atlanta Falcons. That's very telling. It's very interesting. First of all, I heard that and went, well, if they can draft Trevor Lawrence, they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence in a heartbeat. But also that means that it really kind of depends on whether or not the next head coach wants to keep Matt Ryan around and work with him. So I'm telling you, there are a lot of changes coming up in Atlanta. I'm very curious to see who they hire as their next head coach. Does anybody good want that job even? And then will Matt Ryan, the quarterback, become a trade piece? That's also an interesting factor. There's going to be a lot of quarterback movement, it feels like, in the NFL this offseason. And you would think somebody would want Matt Ryan. I don't know, but it's fascinating to me. He still, I believe, has a couple high-level years left. And so I am telling you, keep your eye on the Atlanta Falcons. There are a lot of moves up ahead in the coming months for them. And keep your eye on the Atlanta Falcons because something is going to happen very, very soon. If not, even if it's 4 months from now, are they going to trade Matt Ryan? What head coach are they going to hire? Where will they be how bad are they going to be? Are they going to be 0-16 and get Trevor Lawrence? I have no idea. But seismic changes are coming to the Atlanta Falcons. It seems like the owner wants to have a total reset and rebuild everything from the ground up. And I'm telling you, man, it's going to be very, very fascinating to see what happens moving forward in the future with the Atlanta Falcons.